Welcome to the Lost Caravan RPG.
A haven for the lost, the worn, and the wandering.
Whether you only need a place to rest your soul,
or looking for a brand new journey, we welcome you.
You are safe within our ranks, surrounded by the friends you have yet to meet.
Some of you may be new, eager to take your first steps in the shoes of a hero.
Others are veterans of a war fought through generations.
Having played dozens of characters
and rolled hundreds of dice.
Either way, we can promise you will find moments of adventure and heartbreak,
as well as moments of tears and laughter.
Countless noble tales have been spun around our campfire,
such as Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Lancer, and Locust.
We travel anywhere and everywhere,
exploring towering castles, desolate space stations, and haunted mansions.
We have a few rules if you decide to stay.
Treat each other with love, kindness, and acceptance.
We never judge on appearance, only on richness of character.
For as long as you ride with the caravan, you will never walk alone.
We work together to forge a better world for us, and for every traveler after we're gone.
So, take a seat, grab a drink, and listen to our tales.
When you're ready, we'll help you tell a tale of your own.
And welcome. We are the Lost Caravan RPG. We do one-shots, we do mini-campaigns, we do long-running campaigns. We are a disembodied voice from the aether. If it's TTRPG, we pretty much do it all. Today, the second day of Wonderland Week, which I am so excited for, we are playing some Flabbergasted, hosted by not me today, our very own Sam, aka Sammy Scribbles. But before I pass the torch on over, I have just a few announcements to go through. The first being, Wonderland Week. We are in day 2 of a 7-day event. Each day has a different DM with a different game, all centered, all themed around the story, author, and setting of Alice in Wonderland. Today's game is Flabbergasted, which I may or may not have said. Tomorrow we are playing D&D 5th Edition. On Thursday we are playing Locust. On Friday we are playing Passion de la Passions. I will never pronounce that correctly. On Saturday we are playing Vashan. On Sunday it's Lancer Sunday. So of course we're playing some heckin' Lancer. On Monday, actual Alice in Wonderland Day. The morning, we are playing a game of Honey Heist, and we are capping this entire amazing event off with a nice, light-hearted game of Call of Cthulhu. Should be just a relaxed, just chilled, no player character death. It's just gonna be a nice, even ending to this event. But I'm so very excited. All of these DMs have been working so hard. These games look amazing, and I cannot wait. You'll notice at the bottom of this screen there, we do have stream rewards for every 10 follows. And Sam, feel free to correct me. We are adding a random item to the game at the director's discretion. And at every 5 subs, we are refreshing scene cubes. So, yeah, we're not only that, but we do have a total sub goal throughout the entirety of the event. At 20 total subs, we will do another horror stream where I will have all of the jump scare sound redeems on. Y'all can scare the crap out of me once more. I'm so looking forward to it, despite the dismay in my voice, I promise. At 40 subs, we are going to be doing a full cosplay stream. I'm going to find the people in our server who want to dress up in cosplay, and we'll find a game where we can make that happen. And at 60 subs, this is the most ambitious, we are going to be running a full day of streaming from early morning until late in the evening. Just a full heckin' day of lovely people. I'm if we get that far, I am so looking forward to it. But yeah, you will notice that the character images we have here in front of you for each of our lovely cast were made through HeroForge.com, a fantastic website where you can make hyper-customized miniature models and get them sent straight to your door. They're constantly adding new things. Like recently, they added my favorite addition, which is the ability to hold cups. They added wine glasses, they added mugs. Just amazing. They also added slings, dynamite, and if you're into that sort of thing, whips. They also added like a feminine, a masculine version of like an electromancer outfit. It's very cool. Highly recommend you go check it out. But you can use a link there in chat, posted by our lovely moderator Dido, to not only get cool stuff, but support us in the process. And we heckin' love you for it. If you like what we do, much like these lovely people you see in front of you, and you want to roll dice with us, you can join the Discord. The link is down below. That big old button that says Discord, as well as it'll probably show up in chat in a second. There it is. You can use that link there in chat or the button below. It's where we post all of our casting calls, all of our schedules, all of our cat pictures, and where we just generally hang out and be giant nerds. Right. You were gonna yell at me, but I remembered. The casting call for July is up. We are looking for people to come and hang out with us, roll some dice. We're gonna have just a bunch of guest DMs this coming month. So, yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be tons of fun. Highly recommend you come hang out. And if you don't want to roll dice, we love having people in the server to just hang out and be nerdy with. All right, I think that is more than enough out of me. What do you think, Sam?
I think that sounds fantastic.
All right. Why don't I pass it on over to you if you're ready. If not, I can stall.
I think we're ready now.
All right.
Rip some paper.
You all have
Fantastic.
fun. I will be here lurking in the background.
Perfect. Thank you, Hooper. Now I gotta take over and do things. Anyways, welcome to the Lost Caravan. Tonight we will be running the role-playing game Flabbergasted by the Wandering Tome. I love how cute this game is, and I'm excited to be able to run it for Alice and Winter midweek. But before we get into any of that, just a couple of real quick sort of housekeeping things. I do want to say that we will be using safety mechanics within the stream, as always. X card, N card, O card. If at any time the cast is uncomfortable, they can DM me and the scene will move on. No questions asked. Again, as the cast, make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. I don't foresee this going in a dark, crazy way, but you never know with tabletop games. Things happen. But really, we're just going to be drinking tea and having fun, so it's going to be fantastic. Other than that, I will real quick introduce myself. I am Sam, she, her pronouns. You can find me at Sammy Scribbles on Twitter, where I typically post about all the latest indie TTRPGs and things that we can do to help content creators. But yeah, right now I'm supposedly on break, but still playing TTRPGs. So we're just gonna go ahead and go around and have the cast introduce themselves, who you are, where we can find you, and a little bit about who you are playing tonight. And we'll go ahead, start with Reggie, go down to Walter, hop over to Anastasia, and then end with Masha. Let's go over there.
Yay, excellent. Hello, my name is Proper Nerdy. I am a TPK roleplay streamer who has joined the Lost Caravan for the first time today. I have played Flabbergasted only once before, but I am bringing back my character, Reggie Moon, who is the theater director of the Peccadillo Stage Lights Club. It is definitely not failing, and it is definitely the place to be. Oh, he is the Bohemian. That is the playbook that I'm playing as, and I think that's about sums it up for now. Walter?
Yeah. Hi. I am Spencer, aka at SpencerDV on Twitter and stuff. I use him, and today I am playing Walter Brigham. He is the help, and he's just here to help folks. He doesn't have any like sinister intentions behind things or anything, so I'm sure everything will go just fine.
Fantastic. I do believe in the new edition, the help has been changed to the staff. For some some readings. So we'll change that over there. Hopping over to Crimson.
Hey y'all, I'm Crimson Galaxy. That's Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they, and today I'm going to be playing Anastasia Tenenbaum. And she is the Bohemian as well. You can find me on Twitter at sin_gal. I'll plug games at the end.
And I think that means it's my turn. Hey everybody, I am Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at Pooja and at Pajabberwocky on all other platforms, including Twitch, where I will be bobbing around in the chat, hopefully. And I am playing Maria Connaught tonight. Her pronouns are she, they. Mine are she, her. And Marina is the well-to-do playbook and a widow who is an archaeologist and may or may not be funding their own, missions out there. What are they called? Not missions. I don't know. Words are hard today. But, so, they're just out there to explore what the world has to offer despite being a woman in the time era that they are.
Were you looking for the word expedition?
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. I had it in my notes somewhere. And then, brain fog. It's a thing.
It's been a week and it's only Tuesday, so don't even worry.
Truly has.
It's just life. Fantastic. I'm so excited to hop through this amazing story with you guys. Again, we do have some stream rewards. At 10 follows, a random item will be placed in the scene for good or fit ill. And then at 5 subs, we will be refreshing scene cues. So if our cast uses them at all, it's basically an automatic success. They will be able to use them again. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and hop right into it. I'm super excited that we already have a Queen of Hearts point, a villain point. So we'll just be able to up that ante at some point during this. Because what is the word?
In case I missed it, what is the Queen of Heart thing?
That is a villain point. So that is a point to me as the storyteller, as the game master director, to destroy your guys' lives. Essentially. Yeah, But we're just drinking tea and just having a good time.
This is a lighthearted game.
This is a lighthearted game. God damn. Okay, no horror. Okay.
Listen,
no horror.
I play a lot of horror too, which is why I was just like, no.
Wait a second.
Not today.
This is light game, Sam. We got this. All right.
It can be a drama point,
Yeah.
Add some drama.
We will add drama.
Little gossip.
We'll have our fainting couches
live
ready.
for the drama.
Yes. I really hope one of you carries around a fainting couch because this is going to be fantastic. But
I mean, Walter's to help. They might have one.
Yeah, just pull it around. You just drag that thing around.
Yeah.
This will be totally fine. Again, in this game, we will be embarking on all manner of marvelous misadventures. We will be fending off dastardly debtors, concoct cantankerous capers, navigate the scandalous soirees, and hopefully prevent some misguided marriages. And just all in all, partake in a smorgasbord of all adventures. So, last time on Flabbergasted, essentially our club has come together to find an envelope just on the table in the center of their club, made of a very thick sort of canvas. It has filigree around the edges, just beautiful swirling gold cursive with the simple phrase "drink me" on the front. You guys aren't exactly sure how this ended up inside your club. You could have sworn you had Walter lock the door. But again, you're not sure how it could be here. That might be a security issue to address later. But for now, the only thing is to open this envelope and also to kind of describe what your characters look like and what you kind of like. What is your sort of signature on this club that you guys have created together? If that makes sense. I'll give you a moment to think about that. Or just throwing you at it. Most of you guys do seem to have a little bit of money, so that this place can definitely be a more well-to-do apartment, or you guys not wanting to take the money off of your parents, perhaps wanted to fund your own adventure. It's in a little bit of a more rundown place, but yeah, I suppose actually I will throw this over at our dear Walter.
Yeah, what's up?
Since you were supposed to lock the door, seeing this envelope in the center of the room, what is Walter thinking? And just to sort of set the scene of your guys' club, because I feel like this is one of the most difficult jobs, what color are the walls? Because I'm sure you had a hand in painting them.
Yeah, most likely. Walter is just a bundle of confusion looking at the letter in the chest that says "drink me" at the moment. He is sort of Caucasian male, early 30s, swept back, kind of parted down the middle, black hair, well-kept black beard as well. And instead of wearing like a proper suit and tie, he probably has something akin to like horse riding clothes on. And he probably painted the walls. Oh, I guess I'll pose this as a question to Proper, since from the what little time I've had here, Proper seems to be the showrunner of this club to an extent. What is Reggie's favorite color?
Oh, don't you know, the walls are painted an extravagant red velvet color. Absolutely to die for in Paris, you know.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit excessive, but absolutely had to go for the best.
Of course, and he would have painted the walls red.
Not realizing that that is a lot of red. Just a lot of red.
Listen, you bring in enough lights and the room still feels wide and open. It's absolutely extravagant.
Oh, me being a theater person, this hurts so much because that's not how red works. But he's just like,
having grown up in a bedroom that was red, can confirm.
Yeah. He's going to kind of look over at Reggie and just holds up the letter. It's just like, I mean, should I open it? I mean, it just showed up here. Opening it and drinking whatever's in there doesn't seem smart, to put it one way.
I absolutely do love a bit of an exciting cocktail, but let's step away from it for a moment. And he's going to grab the letter and sniff it. Yes, I do sense a bit of perfume, perhaps a lavender of some sort. And what is this? Blue beetle ink, how fascinating. And he'll, like, dissect the craft of the of the letter. But I do think we should have everyone here if we're going to open this. It's absolutely titillating.
Exactly. Speaking of which, a rough stage has, of course, been constructed in the far corner of this large open room. Anastasia would not step foot in here if there was not a stage. So this was put together, and you know that there's kind of like a slight backstage access, and it's easier to just like walk up onto the front of the stage, but still Anastasia has to come from backstage forward to greet everyone. Just out of, it just doesn't make sense, but she has to do it every time. But Anastasia, as you walk in, why don't you briefly describe what does the stage look like from your point of view, and what furniture have you made sure is in this location?
Well, the stage from... Did I turn... Yes, okay, sorry, had to double check. The stage, from my point of view, walking out, even though it's only a slightly raised platform, let's call it, a foot off the ground or so, barely a step. And, on the stage, there is a full grand piano that takes up about 3/4 of the stage. And then on the opposite side, why not? One of those fainting couches.
Nice.
And yeah, she is a singer who comes out to put on her shows, and just between you and me, I'm the real draw of this place. As for what she's wearing, sorry, brain fog. She comes out wearing like an ornately lavish faux fur lined coat with like a baggy romper underneath it, that it, like, the legs are so baggy that if you didn't actually look, you'd think that it was a dress.
I love it. It looks very fancy from at least this side, this point of view, with the stage lights focused on you. Do you greet
Very
the
young
other
age,
two,
so
or
my
are you waiting
mom,
for
but then,
Marina
my mom
to
is so
come
much talent.
first?
Oh, I'll greet them. How are you boys doing today?
As always, tired.
You look spectacular as always, my darling Anastasia.
Of course. Who would I be if I didn't?
I do know you love a bit of the drama, so I thought I'd cue you in on a little exciting development here in the tea room. Come look at this exciting prop.
It's a letter, Anastasia. It looks fancy, but it's a letter. You've seen fancier.
I pick it up, examine it. Well, it looks like an invitation.
Let's hope it is only that.
Now, what's all this about drink me? Is this some kind of poison or something?
I mean, it could be.
There is
scandalous. I love it.
Yes, and there is one among your number that, you know, has been educated. She might know a little bit about exactly what is going on. Marina, how do you enter the club typically?
Marina enters the club like she was probably supposed to be there about 5 minutes ago. She is somebody who is perpetually in motion because there's just so much to do, and you know, when you are in her station, you kind of have to do it all yourself. So I think when everybody's standing around this table talking about the letter, Marina just hypes up from behind them, and not announcing herself in any way other than with a part of the conversation where she says, Well, I suppose we could take a look at who it's from, but...
Oh, shit!
Oh, sorry.
God,
I know,
Marina, you need to stop doing that on me.
I know you told me to announce myself when I come in, but really it just takes too much time.
How did we not hear you come in?
Marina just looks down at her boots, and as the camera, I guess, zooms in on her, what you see is Marina is dressed in a way that is not conventional for women of this time. They are wearing khaki pants, brown boots that are about knee-high, a shirt, and a coat that is open and very fancily collared. Probably one of the few parts of our outfit that give away what their social status might be. And Marina looks like somebody who is dressed for practicality instead of asserting that social status. And as for what she's doing as a part of this club, Marina is also brown-skinned, very clearly of Indian ancestry, and you get the feeling that they probably know people who can get them some of the harder to find rarities that this little group here quite enjoys drinking.
You see, darlings, it's because she's not wearing heels.
Oh, so they aren't.
I truly do believe that heels are just so that men can keep track of where we are at all times.
Well, I personally believe that they are a power play to assert your dominance in a room.
I prefer to do
believe
that
in
with
that,
words,
darling.
my love. But yes, are we going to open this letter?
Since I am, I guess, more of a butler type of thing, should I open it instead of you, Reggie?
Oh, you are such a gem. Thank you, dear.
We'll just gingerly take the letter. We'll sort of dig around in their pocket for a second. Pulls out like a very sharp-looking letter opener and just carefully opens it. And won't open it with his hand, just sort of tips it open with the letter opener just to see if, I don't know, there's anthrax or something in this letter.
What are you expecting to be inside?
When you've been in my line of work, there can be a lot of things in letters.
Oh, Walter, you are a mystery, and I love every day.
He just gives Reggie a wink.
Oh, you better believe Reggie winks back. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Both eyes, too.
Is that a blink?
Sure. And is just going to very slowly pull out whatever might be in the envelope.
Right. You pull it out or do you dump it out?
Oh, I think he dumps it out because he doesn't know what's in there.
Like with how careful you're being.
Probably
And
dumps-
also, like, you keep trying to tell these people that this is a letter opener, though it is clearly just a knife.
Yeah, it's just a knife.
Yeah. So don't get confused by that. You dump out the letter, and of course, paper falls out onto the table, as well as I mean, I guess in your guys' club, it looks potentially like tea leaves. Maybe it's just some crumpled up leaves, some dirt. You're not quite sure, unless you were to get closer to investigate it. But that sort of sprinkles and dusts the top of this letter as well. You kind of get a scent of earth, and especially like right after rain, just that strong scent, as well as maybe hints of chocolate.
I think Marina's gonna go up for the letter, kind of shake off the dusting of tea onto the table and open it, saying that Life's too short to be worried about poisoning.
I guess so.
That smell is familiar. I think that might be some of that bean juice that people are always going on about.
Do you mean coffee, Anastasia?
Why not? Sure.
I mean, the other thing that makes me think of is aquafaba, and we are way too far removed from that.
Something. I mean, maybe you'll have to brew it to see what it forms, or just put it in your mouth. But you know.
Well, first we're gonna read a letter.
First, we should read this letter.
Yep.
In a very elegant sort of hand, handwritten, I might add, not typed out, but by hand. At the top, in a very swirling sort of writing that just seems, it almost irks you, Marina, that it just seems so flamboyantly extra. Like they did not need that swirl there or that tittle up there. It's too much, but you're able to read it nonetheless.
Clearly someone with too much time on their hands.
Exactly. Like that bee must have taken forever. But it says, by order of the Queen of Hearts, you are hereby summoned to the land of wonders, wild and new, where dreams are twined. It continues down, just very centered on this paper, like meticulously so, that today, on this, let's see here, June the 28th, at 8 p.m., follow the white rabbit to, and it gives an address for the building across the street.
And we know what the building across the street is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So after Marina reads that out to the group, we will say, well, that's rather bold of them to invite us across the street. They could have just come and knocked.
I mean, judging by the handwriting, this would have taken far too much time.
Who knows? Perhaps they are shy. Everyone knows all of the best parties have handwritten invitations that would normally go out months ahead of time.
Yes, but we don't know
why we're getting such a tardy invitation. Your accent, darling, it's a bit confusing. I'm having difficulty understanding you.
Oh. Let me listen to my mic, actually. Give me a second. Okay.
Oh, you must have gotten that out of your throat.
Yes. I guess if we're going to a party, I should dress up in something nicer than this.
Wait, are we going to this party, or are we rebuffing the tardy invitation?
He just looks at Reggie.
Well, don't look at me, everyone. I mean, I would love to the party. You know me. Plenty of very attractive individuals there. But, well, do we know these people? Are they the unsavory sort?
Well, it's the building across the street, of course. We know we do know, well, out of character, we do know that it is frequented by Matt, Hatter, and Marcy Hare, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's where, Hatter and Hare are from. I'm sure you've seen them around, right?
On occasion. No, just go ahead.
It looks like they put a lot of effort in. We may as well check it out. If nothing else, we can steal their clients.
If we must go to the place that Anastasia so lovingly called the bean juice makers, at least we should bring our own tea. I don't trust their beverages.
Oh, do bring your most exquisite varieties, please.
Oh, yes. 1 second. And Marina is just going to reach into their satchel and pull out like little bags of very fresh smelling teas.
Oh, Marina, dear, you do truly bring the most elegant of things to me. You are such a treat.
Of course, nothing less than the best for my friends.
We are absolutely spoiled by you.
Remember, $1.95 for exactly 5 minutes. No more, no less.
And I think Marina's gonna just take a whiff of the incredibly fresh tea and hand it to Walter, because we all know that Walter is the I mean, I don't know how much tea Marina has brewed for herself in let's be honest, but also Walter is quite the connoisseur, right?
Yeah.
Everyone here is.
Tell me, Walter, is Walter the kind of character that is very good at making sure things don't go missing? Or are you a trustworthy and always on top of things kind of assistant? Or are you a
It's a
little
very
bit...
personal question there, Reggie.
Yeah, I'm asking out of character. Okay? I want to know if you are like the efficient staff member or like the sort of bumbling staff member.
Mostly efficient. Although when he bumbles on the rare occasion, it's probably bad.
Okay, I just wanted that little bit of flavor, just to double check some things.
Just like, okay,
Director, what time is this invitation for?
The
And what
invitation.
time is it right now?
Exactly. The invitation did say 8 p.m. It is currently, let's see here, about 7:45.
Oh, wow.
shit, I should probably change.
Oh no, darling, please. Everyone knows you must be, fashionably late to these kinds of soirees.
Yes, do take your time. But now I am curious as to A, how they got in to leave this invitation and when they did so.
I am wondering so myself.
Would you like to go
Director-
change and then we can do some, perhaps, looking around the place to see if anything's amiss?
That would probably be best, Marina, yes. And he's just gonna run upstairs real quick.
He lives
Put the
in the
kettle on
club.
before you go!
What?
Put the kettle on before you go!
Oh, right. Runs back down the stairs. We'll very quickly get the kettle put together, and we'll put the tea in. And probably has like some method of timing it, and we'll set it for 5 minutes, then goes upstairs.
I do not. After you go, Marina will turn to Reggie and Anastasia and say, I truly do not mean to be so demanding, but I'm sure you both remember the travesty that was us trying to brew tea without Walter that one time.
Oh, those contraptions do confuse me ever so.
I'm pretty sure I burnt the water somehow.
You would think 2 ingredients, it shouldn't be that difficult, but yet there is such an art to doing it properly.
There really is. There really is.
Speaking of an art, there is an art to investigation.
Yes.
And Reggie is going to start investigating the doorway and the entryway to see if anyone's tried to break into our quaint little club.
Perfect. How does
Marina will help
Reggie
you. I don't know if there's
go
a
about
help
doing
action,
this?
but
Sorry, were you saying something?
No, I'm just curious as to how Reggie goes about doing this.
Excellent. So he is a theater director, which he's in charge of the theater, and he directs the shows, and he has done plenty of acting in his day when he was a little younger, And that means he also has to do like literally everything else around the theater because it's very short-staffed. So he kind of digs into his like theater technician kind of ways
and pulls out some like random tools from his pockets and starts tinkering away at at checking all of the locks and all the hinges and using his artistic eye to make sure nothing is out of place.
Perfect. So, with your artistic eye, I want to make you roll a wit and sharp.
Sounds good to me.
And if Marina is helping, you can add an additional dice to that.
I am helping.
Just
Excellent.
one success. Marina, how are you assisting this?
Oh wait.
I think divide and conquer. Kind of a thing where, it's more eyes is just better, and so we'll kind of start, I guess, the opposite ends of the room and then just kind of rotate around.
Marina, dear, you check upstage and I'll check downstage, as they say in the business.
That way?
Yes, that way, dear.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I've rolled really poorly. My highest is a 4. Which...
No successes.
Hmm.
5s and 6s are successes.
I would
Well, one
also
of these
like
games,
to
right,
Sorry.
Yeah, 4, 3, and 2 ones.
Yes, please assist. I think Marina's also gonna go try to taste the powder that was in the envelope, because chaos.
Perfect. Anastasia, what are you doing at this moment?
Oh, I was also going to investigate, except more localized to the piano with my fingers.
Yes.
I guess a jaunty little investigation tune.
Yeah.
My God, the D above center C is slightly looser than it was yesterday. Someone's been here. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine if that's how we discover someone had been here all along, was that?
Oh my gosh.
One of the keys is out of tune. No.
Would Anastasia commit murder? For someone daring to put her piano out of tune.
I have someone in every week retuning this, making sure it's all in perfect condition. So, if it's not working, then...
We know.
I have sidetracked us.
Now, roll me, Anastasia, creativity and passion.
Just one success.
Perfect. I mean, you don't even need to warm up as you just sort of begin to play out this sort of, I guess, an investigating tune, kind of, you're like watching Reggie and Marina out of the corner of your eye, and sort of each football, you just accent that note just enough to kind of rise the tension within them. Enough so that it is distracting Reggie a little bit too much as he listens to these chords being played, that he's more interested in listening to make sure that you are in key than actually investigating anything that he should be.
Love
it
artists.
is true.
I'm imagining Randy Newman right now, but the Family Guy spoof. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
You do notice, though, as your ring finger hits that B flat, he does feel a little bit greasy, like somebody else's hands have been on it.
Called it.
Someone definitely touched my piano.
Because you have a very stringent rule.
Yes, wash your hands before playing my piano.
Yes. And no chops.
Yeah,
2
no
rules, guys.
chopsticks.
2 rules. And clearly, if this B flat was pressed, someone did not wash their hands. And they might have been playing chopsticks.
Disgraceful.
So, whoever was in here definitely felt like they had the time to play the piano.
We are definitely going to that party. I have some people that I need to give a what for.
that's entirely fair. And besides, if they already had time to write that invitation and then play the piano, they sound like they're sorely in need of entertainment.
And then, Marina, you did say that you tasted this strange.
I tasted the strange substance. Yes.
How much of it?
Well,
A deadly amount.
we were fully expecting this to be something tea or tea-like, and raw unbrewed leaves are pretty bitter, so not an overwhelming amount. Just kind of a
Pinky prick.
yeah, like you just press it down on the powder and you lick your finger, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Perfect. You're like how when you're expecting one taste and then you get the complete opposite taste and it just kind of throws everything off, just like surprising all of your senses even more. So expecting that deep, dark, bitter flavor of unbrewed tea leaves, like this very sharp sort of flavor just cuts through you even more. And sort of sends like little prickles of electricity shooting from your tongue down your arms. Just like tingling sort of sensation. And you suddenly, it's later in the day. You've been out and about running errands, making sure that things are in order here and there. You feel like you've had a full 8 hours of sleep suddenly.
Marina licks her lips and then turns to Anastasia and Reggie and says, I tasted the substance, and I have never in my life experienced something like that. It doesn't taste good, but I feel incredibly rested and energized.
Oh, so you're saying it is drugs then? Interesting.
Yes.
Don't be shy, darling. We've all had a dalliance with the crazier arts.
Only opium.
Ah, classic.
Has the
Not me sitting here racking
sorry,
my mind for what? For drugs at the time.
Well, you know what they say. When in Rome, I go over and rub my finger all the way across, just like coating it. And...
Atta girl.
The director is very concerned right now.
Has the tea finished steeping yet?
Has it been 5 minutes, I guess?
It's what's funny, at least it feels like it's been 5 minutes for the rest of you looking at the clock, but suddenly for Anastasia, the world just completely it slows down but also speeds up in the same instance. It's just like your mind almost cannot comprehend this, as again that those jolts of electricity travel down your tongue, through your arms, down your legs, and you feel like you need to go outside and run, something you have not wanted to do in a very long time. You don't need to run. You just need to use your voice muscles. But also you suddenly just have the need to sing some aria at the top of your lungs.
Woo!
Anastasia, my love, your body's a temple. What are you doing?
Better than my ex-husband, I'll tell you that.
Oh, darling, was that a difficult bar to reach?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I like to think at this moment, this is where Walter finally comes back down from changing. He has changed from his horse riding clothes into actually what's rather a nice charcoal gray tailcoat with matching pants. He's wearing sort of this periwinkle vest with a sort of mint green dress shirt underneath. He comes down and says and looks at Anastasia. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm quite fine, darling. How about you?
Your pupils are the size of dinner plates. I'd argue otherwise.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Thing a little decon fix.
Don't worry about Walter. He is, in fact, quite fine.
Thank you. And he'll go over and like grab some, what I assume is like they're nice looking but like chipped teacups from underneath the counter, and we'll pour out some of the tea for each of us. And he will take a small sip of it. To see if maybe he starts tripping like the others are.
Our tea is normal tea leaves.
Oh,
yeah, you're
sorry.
brewing normal tea. We are
Whoops.
We are consuming the coffee grounds of whatever the hell is in this envelope.
Oh, we'll just start drinking in the tea, and it's just like it looks at, I guess, between Pooja and not Pooja, sorry, Marina, and Anastasia. It's just like, I guess I should try and figure this out as well.
Marina is not quite as far gone
Right.
as Anastasia, but I do have a very important question for the director. Does the tea taste more flavorful or different while in this present state? Do I see colors?
You do not see colors.
Well, I mean, unless you're colorblind, I think you do
Yeah.
normally
Yeah.
see colors.
I got.
Oh no, but you know what I mean. Like,
I
does the
need this
make
tea,
you see
apparently.
colors?
Does the tea make you taste colors?
There it is.
That's a better
Thank you.
question.
No, but Anastasia has wandered back over to the piano, and is beginning to sing something. You're not quite sure. It's from the soul. Just scatting and doing just something completely different. And that music, you feel like you could taste the music that she is playing.
Oh. Walter's just going to slowly start scooping the coffee grounds just into his hand.
Reggie, darling, let's dance.
Oh, you don't have to ask me more than once.
Has Reggie had some of the coffee?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, we're just gonna dance. It's a great time. We're having our own party.
Yeah. I will say that the tea doesn't do the same thing for you that it used to do. Like, the tea is good. The tea is flavorful. It has those floral scents with the cuts of fruit, but you kind of want more of the other stuff.
Marina, do you express this?
I want more. What can I say? Everything just is less vibrant, it feels, without a taste of that. And I think Marina is just gonna like lead both of us over to the table where I don't know, has Walter taken all the powder up, or
he's sort of just swept it off the table into his open hand.
Oh, thank you.
No, okay.
2 fingers. You should truly try some.
Reggie will attempt to grab your wrist to keep it away
Huh.
from you.
Hey.
Marina's hand, sorry.
Yeah. But why?
Marina, dearest, I don't believe that's good for you, dear. I've never seen you less interested in tea in my life.
Oh. That is rather strange. But you're right. Let's save the substance for science and go see why they sent it to us, perhaps?
I would like to say, while this conversation's happening, Walter has 100% taken like a pinch of this powder, placed it into his tea, and just stirs it in. And sips it.
How did I become both the character with the most experience doing drugs and also the one refusing to take them?
Because you know what it's like and know it's bad.
That is the correct answer.
There's a strange substance in this envelope. Let's ingest it.
Yeah, why not?
It's the 1800s. I'm pretty sure self-experimentation was all the rage back then.
Exactly, especially if you had nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, leeches. I mean, battlefield scars is like, oh, you got shot in the arm. Pulls out saw.
I mean, that's what the opium is for, so.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, shall we go to this party?
No, I'm quite concerned that this particularly Moorish substance might be in plentiful supply here, but I think if the three of you can contain yourselves, we might be able to dig a little deeper into our strange hosts.
Yes, I will try, but I can't make any promises.
I will do my best, but good luck.
I'd like to imagine that Reggie lets go of your hand for a moment, and instantly it's in your mouth.
Yes, just a little bit further road.
You see the
very far road that is crossing the street.
Walter is just sort of sitting there, like almost like lapping the air, and it's just like, tastes awful in here.
Oh, come, darling. Let's get you some fresh air.
A little rainy.
Yeah, it's almost like, like, have you ever? He's trying to hold himself together because I think, due to his background, which only I think Sam and Pooja know at this point, he does not try some of the product he elicits. So this is probably his first time on drugs, period. And he's just like, like when you sometimes get sand in your mouth when you're at the beach? It's like that. It's real bad.
This is starting to sound more and more like a very confusing poetry slam, so I'm going to go get dressed momentarily, and we'll be on our way as soon as I'm ready.
He looks to Marina and is just like, what's poetry slam? I don't know what that is.
Don't worry, darling. It's something the artists frequent, not folks like you and me.
Ah.
Is that a slight?
No, poetry is great.
All right.
I love to go to things and watch people try to. Never mind, I got distracted.
It's all about expression, Marina. And yes, my darling Anastasia definitely was not a slight against you or anyone else.
It's not. You are a performer, darling.
I absolutely am. Excuse me a moment.
How long does it take Reggie to get ready?
Yeah.
A good 20 minutes longer than he says it will.
Oh, man.
It's like a solid hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine I'm just sitting there, my legs bouncing up and down, just like, come on, when are we gonna go?
You go get him to hurry.
Yeah. Marina's such a busy person that they just sit on the couch on, I guess, probably some of those very comfy armchairs. So they just curl up sideways in one of them and huddle up and pass out.
If anyone wants to remind me of the name of this person, because I'm blanking on it, but there is that like early 20th century man who took like 8 hours to get dressed in the morning and like made 7 costume changes every time he went to a party. That's very much what Reggie is attempting to get to. Nice. He's a weird name, and I want to know what it is. I forget what it is. But he is the kind of person who puts in a lot of work to make himself look as beautiful as he thinks he is. And so yeah, he finally descends the stairs, dolled up as much as possible, with some kind of gems in his hair, on his ears, around his wrists, and he is like ready for a party.
Okay.
Come along, dears. I think we might be officially fashionably late.
Walk over and shake her away.
You've
Walter.
got a bit of that coffee in your throat again, Walter.
Yeah.
Choking on it. By this time, it is like 45 minutes past the start time
Oh.
or so. Anastasia, do you change at all? And do you attempt to wake up Marina?
Well, I put on my face before I ever hit the stage. I am wearing properly outlandish clothing already, so I have no need to change. And I would call out to Marina, but I would not do anything else to try to wake her. Marina! Marina! Marina!
Yes, I'm awake. I'm awake. Is it time to go?
Yeah, it's time for us to get across the street, I suppose.
Okay. Marina is going to adjust their hat, and that is going to be the that's going to be the total amount of getting ready that she is doing for this party. Let's go.
Marina, you do, for the briefest of moments as you open your eyes, remember this vivid dream that you had been experiencing, chasing this strange white rabbit across these fields of flowers, of marigolds and cosmos, and just this plethora of colors all around you. And that stress and that urgency that you just always seem to feel of never having enough time, just having been compounded during this dream. Like you weren't able to move fast enough. You could never catch up to what you wanted to get. And as you sit up to adjust your hat, your heart is still pounding slightly before the dream is just forgotten. As it does, the sleep just kind of wishing it away.
Ooh, that was a more stressful nap than I've ever had, but also strangely beautiful. And I think all that talk of white rabbits. Well, you know, the invitation mentioned a white rabbit, right? And apparently my subconscious took that in, but it was beautiful and flowers, but I felt very late, and I do not like feeling late. I understand fashionably late as a concept, but that is something that I plan for.
Funnily enough, technically, so does Reggie.
There you go. See, you're not late when you arrive exactly when you plan to.
Remember, a queen is never late. Everyone else is just early.
Exactly. No, but this was different. This was bad late. This was heart pumping. Hear my pulse in my ears late.
I'm beginning to believe that in fact was drugs, like I had mentioned. It sounds like you're coming off of quite the high.
Well, thank goodness I still have the rest of this tea. When I taste, I guess it's kind of cooled down now. When I taste this tea after waking up, does it still taste sad?
It's like, because it's cold. It's cooled pretty significantly. So again, it's not that warm comfort.
Yeah.
It's sort of that soft sadness, that little bit that you get when you briefly catch a glimpse of a picture that elicits that emotion, but then you just kind of keep going. The briefest moments of sadness before the strong floral hints hit you again, and you are just reminded of walking in a garden.
I do hope they serve something stronger than tea at that party. But not drugs, something in between.
True.
Of course.
Some champagne would not be amiss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how absolutely extravagant. I can't wait.
Some bubbly.
Shall we?
I think we shall, yes.
Alright, I think we're gonna head out and definitely lock up behind ourselves this time.
Walter, are you in charge of locking up then?
I think so, yes. And he's going to, like... This is what I do sometimes. He's going to lock the door. We'll tug it just to make sure it's locked. But then we'll unlock the door again. And then relocks it. Jiggles it again. Okay. We should be fine. We should be fine.
Your piano is safe, Anastasia, darling.
Walter, you do notice that second time that you jiggle the door, but that some paint has been scratched near where the lock kind of meets the frame. You could have just not noticed that before. Could just be how it's always been.
Right. Could I use, I assume in this, it'd probably be wit and sharp to try and discern, like, what did it?
Roll me a wits and sharp.
Yeah. 4 dice.
Get 1 success.
Ooh. 3 successes, actually. That's 2 6s and a 5.
Oh yeah, it was not like this before. You painted this door frame last week because Reggie was upset with the color that it was then and had to change it to this new color now. So there's no way in hell, that this paint has already been that worn. Something had to have scraped against it.
Well, that's odd. Reggie, you know how I had you paint the door frame? Stop. You had me paint the door frame, like a few days ago because you didn't like the color the week before?
Yes, white is so out these days. Gold is much better.
In this case, I would agree. But look, and sort of points out, like, where it's, like, very much scraped and the white paint is there underneath.
A hooligan's I am flabbergasted. By gods, how dare they?
Yes, I can't necessarily discern what made it, but it looks like somebody might have broken in that way somehow.
You have a good guess of what made it. I mean, you carry around a couple knives wherever you go. This is definitely the scraping of a knife against a frame.
He's gonna sort of pull out his letter opener and sort of like compares it to the door. Huh.
Almost a perfect match. Maybe you did this.
I would not break into my own place of employment, voice in my head.
This is where we find out that, in fact, this whole story all along has been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Damn it!
Is it a duel of the trade, you think?
It very well could be, yes.
Another reason for us to hurry over there and give them a good what for.
Are you saying that butlers are the kind of person that'll break into someone else's home?
Well,
I know.
That is the trade you're referring to, I assume.
Oh.
Yes.
Sure. And Marina makes eye contact with Walter and just goes...
And I think Marina knows, just because of Walter's, like, trade, he's always well armed, like, including a firearm if he needs it.
Yeah, there's a reason we have, like, Marina was very pro having Walter here. And probably on, like, you know, some expeditions and stuff, too.
Yeah. It's like...
Expeditions? Wondering what kind those are now.
Let's get over to this party, shall we?
Let's shall.
You guys walk across the street.
Do we make it?
Let's see here. Let's roll a luck roll and make sure. No.
Okay.
You guys do indeed make it across the street. It is an arduous journey. The click-clacking of Anastasia's heels, sort of the tempo to which you guys walk. Night has fallen at this point. You're pretty sure you see a rat across the street, just a couple yards up. But other than that, it's a pretty an uneventful journey. No long rest needed. You're fine. Yeah. But you are met.
Reggie will for sure lengthen it as much as possible to make it feel like he's going out for a night on the town, even though it is across the street.
Oh. Does he take us to like a bunch of alleys and say it's the scenic route?
I think the drugs are starting to finally get to Walter.
It's the long-lasting kind for him.
Walter, could you
I don't.
please repeat that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's basically I just asked, like, does Reggie take us through a bunch of back alleys and just say it's the scenic route?
Oh no, I think more of it like Singing in the Rain style. So he'll basically put on a show on the way there as you are
I'll
just walking
perform with
normally. Okay, good.
And I think Marina will just stand, like, link arms with Walter as they stand there watching this performance.
Yeah.
And say,
There'll be a moment where he gestures at the stars and does a quick monologue, you know.
yeah, you know, with entertainment like this, it's truly a surprise we have to go anywhere else.
I know. Thank God you and I are the normal ones.
Well, I wouldn't quite put it that way, but sure.
Well, normal compared to them, I feel.
They're just creative spirits. We're creative in our own way.
And I like to think he has like an inside pocket of his jacket that you very much know that's where he keeps his gun.
Yep. Then you've got the creative too, and you've got the industrious too.
Exactly.
That makes for a great group.
Come along, my darlings, we're almost there.
As I think, I like to think that Marina and Walter are just standing in front of the door to this place, while Reggie and Anastasia are, yeah.
The gentleman sitting on a stool outside the door, also watching for like the past 20 minutes, just like waiting. He's like, do I say hi? No. Okay, they're coming this way. Nope, they're going backwards. He's just kind of waiting.
Eventually,
when we're ready,
attendant, good sir, we are the 6 o'clock club, and we are here to partake in the excitement of the evening.
Do you have your invitation?
Ooh.
Walter, my friend.
I think Marina's gonna pull it out of their coat and just hand it to Walter.
Yeah.
Hands it to Walter.
Because yeah, they had pocketed it after reading it out to the group.
Beautiful. And Walter just hands it over to the attendant.
Yeah. The attendant, for some reason, reads it over as though he needs to, just adding more time, very slowly, kind of his eyes scanning the words downwards, before he looks up at the four of you, just kind of blinking slowly.
Are you gonna take all day with that? It feels like we've been waiting for 20 minutes.
Right.
Beautiful
I think
irony.
you're late.
I know, extremely. We're very sorry.
Extremely
darling,
late.
We arrived exactly when we planned to.
And you planned all that.
Oh no, that was a bit of improvisation.
So then if you did not plan that, then you're late.
Well, we expected improvisation. We just didn't plan the exact content.
He pulls this heavy sort of key ring out of his pocket that has about 20 keys on it. He just is slowly flipping through them. Are you sure you're ready to go in, or do you need to dance some more?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of dancing inside.
I nudge Reggie. Less keys than my piano.
How many keys does your piano have?
Traditionally, it's 88.
He like starts counting the keys as he's just sitting there.
Oh my God, this
I
guy.
walk past him.
Wait, The door is locked.
I shake the doorknob.
He finally.
Why is doors always the biggest problem in a tabletop role-playing game?
Who knows? Who
Because we
really
always
knows?
try to go to places we shouldn't be going.
Yeah.
We should have stayed in our tea room.
It's like, have you met a tabletop party that has been like, okay, we won't go in there because the door's locked? Like, we bring this on
Right.
ourselves.
Finally,
I mean,
he like lifts up
a
a
door
key.
being locked is just a challenge.
All I have to do is put the key in the door. There's no other challenge.
Well, in that case, please proceed.
He stands up, painfully slow. And this is a young guy, but he is moving like a man in his 90s. Just sort of hunched over, every step just so slow as he puts the key like halfway in the door, and then the key ring falls from his hand and clatters against the cement ground. I'm sorry. Hold on. Slowly bending
If
down.
you hurry it up, I'll get you tickets to my next performance.
Who are you?
Anastasia Tenenbaum.
Only the star of stage and screen here in Peccadillo.
You truly must not get out much.
Outside all the time.
In the metaphorical sense.
Well,
but
speaking of which, let's get inside, shall we?
please.
And he picks up the key ring and he has to flip through the keys.
God, the worst.
But finally, he's able to unlock the door. He turns the brass doorknob, pushes the door in, and just spreads his arm wide. Like, welcome to the Fungi Coffee Club. Hope you have a fun visit.
Who exactly is the guy, my good friend?
I think he means like mushrooms.
Then why didn't you just say so?
Well,
Never thought to ask who the guy was.
Oh, I always thought it was pronounced Guy in French.
very well could be.
Wait, are we in France? No, that rubs his
No,
nose.
but I'm sure
That
it's
can't be
never-
right. When did we get to France?
We're not in France, but darling, it's culture.
Tu ne parles pas français, monsieur? C'est une langue très belle.
Allons-y. Shall we go inside?
Oui. Après vous.
I think we're just gonna like walk in and leave him flabbergasted outside.
He's totally flabbergasted, just standing there. It's like he's trying to like question his very existence at this point. But as you guys finally enter, he's just.
I'm very glad to hear that this party has some very dank weed, evidently. Because he must be partaking quite a lot of it.
I would like to walk in last and close the door and lock it behind me.
You jerk! Oh.
He literally has the ring of keys there, though.
How long will it take him to find the right key?
Oh my gosh.
Well, we will. Let's not stick around to find out.
It is interesting. As you guys like walk into this threshold, outside was gray, all cement buildings and cobblestone, and then the night sky with the stars, dark. But once you cross that threshold and the first couple of steps inside, your ears are met with this wonderful sort of new age jazz music. You could feel the thumping of the huge bass sort of in your bones, and the piano keys going from those highs to lows, just making you just it sends shivers down your spine, like just the beauty for which those fingers are flying across those keys. And Anastasia, your eyes immediately go towards the most beautiful stage, lined in deep burgundy curtains, velvet, that sort of heavy rope holding them back. And this woman walks across the stage in this very sharp looking dress, beaded all the way down. And you don't expect like this deep, soulful voice to come out of her, but the moment she opens her mouth, you just like feel that instant connection with the song that she sings. And you guys are almost just frozen for a moment from the pure beauty of this place, that you don't notice that there's literally live butterflies flying around you.
I like to, as this person's walking across the stage, Walter checks out like the way the room is painted and leans over to Reggie. See, they painted it blue in here. The room's much more open.
Wow.
I
don't know if I like that statement there.
I don't.
Excuse me while I go find a drink.
Marina is glued to the spot because she's just completely awestruck by this person's beauty.
I walked up to the stage and I think I'm gonna join her in a duet.
I think with that, we're gonna head to break. Yeah. With that moment of what's gonna happen, because this is not a step up, this is a stage, Anastasia.
Yeah, legit.
The legit one. So if our beautiful, amazing tech producer in the background, we're gonna go to a quick, probably, look, how long of a break do you guys want? 5 to 10 minutes?
Works for me. Yeah.
I just need to. I'm gonna grab some food, but
Perfect.
I'm eating it on stream.
All right, take a break. We'll be back real soon. So.
Welcome to the Lost Caravan RPG.
A haven for the lost, the worn, and the wandering.
Whether you only need a place to rest your soul,
or looking for a brand new journey, we welcome you.
You are safe within our ranks, surrounded by the friends you have yet to meet.
Some of you may be new, eager to take your first steps in the shoes of a hero.
Others are veterans of a war fought through generations.
Having played dozens of characters
and rolled hundreds of dice.
Either way, we can promise you will find moments of adventure and heartbreak,
as well as moments of tears and laughter.
Countless noble tales have been spun around our campfire,
such as Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Lancer, and Locust.
We travel anywhere and everywhere,
exploring towering castles, desolate space stations, and haunted mansions.
We have a few roles if you decide to stay.
Treat each other with love, kindness, and acceptance.
We never judge on appearance, only on richness of character.
For as long as you ride with the caravan, you will never walk alone.
We work together to forge a better world for us, and for every traveler after we're gone.
So, take a seat, grab a drink, and listen to our tales.
When you're ready, we'll help you tell a tale of your own.
All right, I think we are live again. Welcome back, everybody. I am super excited to be ending the rest of this stream of Flabbergasted. Who knows what crazy antics are going to happen now that we are back in the club, or in this new club. What drinks shall be drank, and just how late are we for this very important date? To kind of set the scene again, we have finally arrived at the club on the invitation. The coffee club right across the street. Thank you, Dido, for the gift subs, by the way. You were fantastic. The Fun Guy Club, Fungi. Is it in France? Is it in Pecadillo? The doorman is very confused and is probably going to be thinking about that for a very long time because suddenly people were speaking French and he has no clue what is going on anymore. Besides that, all of the attention at this current point is focused in on our darling Anastasia as her eyes just set on this stage, focused with a singular motive, crosses the room with the intent to get up on the stage. There is a good sort of 3 feet. This is not the step up from the stage back at your club across the street. This is a legitimate sort of climb if you're going to get up there. I mean, I guess if your legs are long, you might be able to stretch that. Maybe. Or you could, awkwardly veer off to the side and try and find the side stairs as well.
I think what I'm going to be trying to do is turn around a little bit, hop up, land on my butt, and then use the motion to swing around and stand up.
Perfect. What are you wearing, by the way?
That ridiculously oversized faux fur coat with the long sleeved and long legged romper that looks like a elegant dress if you don't know what you're looking for.
Inside. Elegant dress. I wonder how difficult that will make it to hop up to the stage. I think you're able to do it pretty easily. Able to sort of mask any sort of difficulties you might have with some very select posing as you go up there.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're sitting on this stage, what's the plan? All eyes are on you.
I'm just gonna be joining in on the singing after I just look over at her while she's singing and just be like, just go with it, darling, and then just join in.
All right. I think I'm gonna need you to roll either a bravado persuasion or creativity and passion.
I'm gonna go creativity and passion, if that's okay.
That's okay, that makes sense. Roll those clickety-clacks.
2 successes.
Yeah, she sort of raises a brow, but you guys are already up here on the stage. She does not want to make a scene. And so she sort of scoots over so that you have access to the mic and allows you, I might add, she with her body language is very much making it seem like this was planned and that she's letting you come up here and do this with her. I do ask, do you take the high part? Do you take the high notes or just do you do a melody or a harmony on this?
I think that I'm just joining in with the harmony. Just because, even though I am the star, I don't want to overstep because she's already doing wonderfully.
The biggest lie I've ever heard in character.
So you're fine playing second fiddle at the moment?
To start with, once we get into it, once it hits, the crescendo, so to speak, then I, try to take over.
How do you try to take over? I need you to What is
I imagine I'm
Anastasia?
just hitting the harmonies, and then like as the song builds, I take the higher register to kind of like make it more powerful, just like project more, and like um, just basically like hit all of the high notes. That since she seems to be like a sultry jazz singer, like lower register, I'm assuming, just like taking the highs and being really flashy with it.
Perfect. Do you push her out of the way at all?
I mean, I want to say no, but my character wants to say yes.
Which is it?
Yes. Just eventually just like cut her off from the mic by taking a tiny step in and like shouldering in front of her.
Perfect. We're gonna pan away from that because this is a full room watching you. Reggie, you've headed over to the bar for a drink. Perfect.
Reggie's very, as I was chewing caramel, yeah.
Always.
Better than when I was trying to eat sourdough pretzels. Anyway, he's gone for a drink. He's a little disappointed in the attitude coming from Walter, and he has stormed off into the party to find a bartender of some sort.
Yeah, the bar is not difficult to find. Definitely like one whole wall is pretty much set aside for this very long checkered counter, almost looking like a chessboard. They even have like various pieces, and all of the drinkware is matching. No chips in them. Very clean, not even the glass isn't fogged at all. And as you approach the counter, the bartender turns to you, this very tall gentleman with this dirty sort of red hair that's just ruffled and curled, looking unkempt but somehow fashionable. It's weird. It's like one of those irritating people that just like wake up and their hair looks fine. Makes you want to smack them. Anyways, wearing this very strange sort of patchwork vest, and a top hat just sort of off to the side. And he turns to you and smiles and actually gives you like this small little wink. And a smile.
Reggie is like purring basically. He leans over on the bar top, says, "Well, hello there. Reginald Moon. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I was looking for a drink."
Well, you yourself are the drink here, but I'm sure that I can get you something to satiate your...
Darling, flattery will get you everywhere. What would you recommend? Everywhere.
Well, he sort of eyes you up and down. Do you want something on the sweet side or a little bit stronger?
Definitely something stronger. My friends are, let's say, a few drinks ahead of me.
Fantastic. He gives you that smile, this flashing those pearly white teeth as he turns away and begins shaking something, adding different... I don't know how to do bartending, guys, but they're making this very vibrant sort of cocktail. And you do see at one moment, he does go to a carafe, and you're pretty sure pours a little bit of coffee into this drink before sliding it across the counter. There is also some very half of the rim is coated in like a cinnamon, and just like feels very warm as he pushes it towards you.
I
think
do
you'll
love
like that
my
one.
drinks hot. This should be an interesting experience. And he'll take whatever it takes to make drinking a cocktail look sexy. He's figured it out, and takes the politest sip. What is it like a coffee drink of some kind, or is there foam to this drink?
I think that it is a coffee drink. Let's give it a little bit of foam.
Then I'll say
Definitely foam art on top too.
he has a accidental foam mustache that just brushes the bottom of his actual mustache.
He leans across the counter, elbow resting against that cool sort of checkerboard. He's like hands over a cloth napkin.
Oh, to excuse me, and I'll dab at it while taking a look at whatever the initials are on the napkin to see if he can find some information about this bartender.
Yeah, it says DM on it.
Well,
in
well.
gold sort of thread.
Gold embroidery, how very fancy of you, my dear. Let's see if I can guess it. Is it Dennis, David, or perhaps Daniel?
3 strikes, love.
Oh, darn. Well, you know my name. I do think it is fair.
Dorian. Mouse.
Excellent to meet you, Dor. I hope you don't mind my little nickname there. Seems appropriate.
Are we that close already then?
I should hope so.
His eyes sort of glance towards the stage. Is that one yours up there?
Mine? Heavens no. She's only mine in the professional sense. A manager of sorts, though I don't know if she believes that or not.
She is quite good.
And who is the actual headlining artist?
My dear, you don't know.
Now, you're going to make me feel quite embarrassed. I should have her up on my stage immediately.
Oh, do you have a stage?
Psychedelic Stage Lights Club is my own particular magnum opus, one might say. We've had a few stars in our days.
One on the stage, Marcy Hare.
Really? I didn't realize she performed.
It seems to be something she does on the side. She doesn't quite do it often, but when she does, I mean, you can see, tell. Heads do turn.
It certainly puts Anastasia to shame. What? Who said that?
Yeah, quite. Not everyone can measure up to her. During this conversation, what is Marina doing? Is she still captivated?
If Walter's still around on the floor, I think Marina is gonna be watching the show with him. But you know, are there past drinks or apps or something around here?
Yeah, there's definitely people with little those little coffee cups, just the shots of espresso walking around, along with apps that look like they're biscotti of some sort.
Marina will pick one up from a passing tray because it's only polite to do so. But while everybody is so entranced by the performance on stage, Walter, if he's next to them, will notice them upon finishing the espresso, just pop the cup in their giant coat.
He just sort of, excuse me, leans over. Is there a reason you're taking that? Whispered conversation, I should add.
Given our history, I don't think this is the first time you've seen Marina take things for no reason, but she will say, if we're here, we can't leave without souvenirs, can we? Wait, that's not the right accent. If we're here, we can't leave without souvenirs, can we?
I suppose you're right. And he sort of probably grabs like a glass of just a sweet red wine off of a tray as someone walks by, drinks it. Suppose I should probably take one of these as well. We'll finish.
Darling, let's aim for the decups. To replace our chipped ones?
You have a point. And I think like while he's looking at them, we'll somehow like manage to just grab a teacup off of a passing tray and just sips from it.
Is it is it tea in the drink? In the cup?
That's
oh, no. It is coffee.
Hey, listen.
I believe.
I suffered for our club, and I guess you must as well, because you remember Marina shot that shot.
Yeah. He sits
trying
there.
Not to taste it the whole time.
This must be that, with very heavy air quotes, bean juice that Anastasia is speaking of, and we'll just try to like slug it back as fast as he can just to get it over with, and shoves the teacup in his jacket.
Well, hopefully, let's at least leave before tonight if we can. But don't tell Reggie or Anastasia. We wouldn't want to upset them.
Of course not. No.
And I think if once the song kind of comes to an end, Marina is going to approach the stage if it looks like they're gonna walk off, because Marina wants to make the acquaintance of I feel like maybe they've heard of Marcy, but probably this is the first time she's heard her sing. So she wants to, I don't know, talk to her, investigate what's going on. Let's find out why are we here? Besides, it can't just be a friendly invite. No one sends a friendly invite with drugs.
You guys
A
are the
fair
one that
point.
licked them.
A fair point.
Very true. As the song comes to an end, you will see Marcy like friendly put her arm around Anastasia's shoulders and begin to steer her backstage forcefully if Anastasia tries to not go that way.
Oh yes, a chat would be lovely.
Does Marina see this happen?
Yeah, I mean, because they're still like right center stage, and as soon as like that last sort of piano keys flit off, she is pulling her backstage.
Yeah, as she's walking away, Marina will be like, "Oh, do you mind if I join? I was quite enchanted by your performance," and we'll just kind of accompany. I don't know if Walter's coming, but it's half. She wants to talk to Marcy, but it's half. They don't want Anastasia being carried off alone without a friend present.
I think
it's like a twofer.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, okay. Walter is going to follow, but I switched up one of the scene cues right before the game. I'm gonna take a use of my scene cue unseen and unnoticed.
Hey.
You know that most rodents don't pay you much attention. You can quickly blend into your surroundings and move about while avoiding detection. So he's probably going to follow. I'm sure Marina would be the only one that notices, but you see him sort of follow, like, through the crowd, but also kind of sticking to the shadows a bit.
Yeah. Which is perfect and exactly what we want. The obvious accompaniment, but also the subtle backup help.
Just like he's supposed to do. Yeah. Marina just, for a moment, closes her eyes just for a second to compose herself. Of course, both of you, please follow me. Backstage.
Of course, lead the way, please.
She does extend a hand down to help you up if you need help getting up the stage.
Absolutely. We are taking that hand.
Okay.
And Marcy would notice that Marina is very spry. Not what you would expect from, like, a woman of their station at this time, once again.
Yeah.
Because Marcy probably doesn't know what Marina does for a living, or that, they're out there in the field all the time. So, yeah. Just very unexpectedly nimble without being, like, dainty graceful.
Yeah, definitely she was not expecting that because, again, your name is known among circle in high society, so certain expectations go with that. But she will pull Anastasia and lead you guys backstage, where it is the typical backstage sort of setting where there are, like, the crates where costumes are kept, various mirrors, instruments, backup strings, that sort of thing. She shakes her head. That was quite a performance that you gave up there.
I saw a stage and just couldn't help myself. It is very... It's a beautiful stage, and honestly, having those musicians on that stage was magical. I am sorry I could not help myself.
You don't sound that sorry, though, actually. I must say. So don't say words that you don't mean.
Isn't that what society is, darling?
Are we in society right now? We are backstage, and it is just us three ladies.
All right, fine. I'll drop the presentation.
Besides,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. She's looking at you in a way, Anastasia, that it's almost condescending. Like, she's gotten a closer look at you and has realized something.
Director,
Maybe
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was gonna ask, do we know about Marcy, what you had shared with us before the game?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But yes, sorry. Anastasia, go ahead.
Well, maybe if you didn't have someone break into our establishment, I would have been a little bit nicer.
I do not know what you are talking about.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, regardless of the accusations, do we have you to thank for our unexpected invitation tonight?
I should say that I hope to show you lot what a proper party looked like. Just being across the street, I have seen the sort that go into your establishment.
I feel like somewhere outside Reggie's eyes twitching. Someone's
He
insulting his
sneezes.
parties. Well, we do have a penchant for the diverting type of crowd instead of a proper one, but in my books, that's a good thing. But thank you so much for our invitation here. What was the substance in the envelope that you sent?
The substance, oh. I do believe that it was Hatter that wrote that, but I'm sure it's just some new concoction he's been working on. Did you enjoy it?
It was interesting, but it gave me rather unusual dreams. I'm not sure I would care to repeat the experience. But, your Mr. Hatter, does he have a lot of time on his hands?
I'm sure I could get him to make time for you.
It's not him I'm interested in talking to. Aggressive eye contact.
You do realize you could do so much better. She, casts a look at Anastasia.
I agree, she could do so much better. I stared daggers back at her.
Oh, come now, surely it's not worth all of this. But, just... if you are to come by next time, just, knock. Unfortunately, some traces were left behind, and... well, I would think that's beneath somebody of your caliber.
We all have things that we do for fun, don't we?
We definitely do.
And here, I was going to pay you a compliment on your voice, but, that ship seems to have sailed.
Oh, I don't need a compliment from you, darling. I know what I'm good at.
Well, it's definitely not being a gracious host.
I suppose not. At least not for someone of your station.
What do you think her station is? I'm just curious.
Do you not know anything about her?
I know she is talented, and she has quite a sophisticated palate when it comes to teas, and that she is my friend.
You could have much better friends. I mean...
What do you think you know about me?
I can tell that your clothes are secondhand, pulled out of somewhere.
Oh, so money matters that much to you, does it?
No, but I can tell that you're pretending, dear.
We
I guess
all
money
put on
does matter.
We all put on an act for the stage.
Just for the stage for you? I guess life is a stage, so...
May as well live it loud, right?
Yeah, but your voice can only get you so far if you don't have the right connections.
Lucky for her, then, that she does.
Yeah. It was not me that broke into your building, establishment, whatever that is. I do believe that was Dorian. If you would like me to talk to him, I don't believe it will happen again.
Thank you. Anastasia was quite upset that an absolute novice took to her piano. Can't be having that.
Novice.
yes. Who but a novice would leave their greasy fingerprints all over my F sharp?
I do believe it was a B flat.
Oh, so it was you who broke in.
Well, of course, darling. Of course, it wasn't F sharp. Very few.
I
sharp
know, that's
things
an
in
E.
in this
I was
room.
testing her.
No,
She
I just
fell
meant
right
very-
into it.
Yeah, very few sharp things in this room, I suppose.
She, like, her demeanor very briefly crumples before she.
Listen, we were flirting, and then you dissed my friend.
It's true. I can only go
Like-
so far.
You know, like, don't you dare be going, you're not like other girls or whatever, because Rita's answer is like, what's wrong with other girls?
She's cute, but you can't diss the friend.
No. I believe the Spice Girls had a whole song about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of cute individuals, how is that bartender going proper? Or Reggie?
I think it's excellent, but in the excitement of flirting with a cute man, Reggie has let his guard down just a little bit and has drank the entirety of the drink. He's not experiencing anything strange now, is he?
Why would he be experiencing anything strange after
Excellent.
drinking this strange thing? No,
After drinking a drink made by a person he's never met before.
yeah, it's really strange, Reggie. You blink a couple of times and the colors around you seem to almost start swirling. It's really weird. And you're like staring at Dorian and you're like, is he like the most beautiful man that I've ever seen? Because the world is just full of color all of a sudden. Something that you've never experienced, and it's hard to even put into words like what exactly you are feeling right now, but it's different than anything else. Your heart is both racing and you kind of feel that need to just scream, and like your mind can't even comprehend, but you're hearing colors and seeing the words come out of his mouth, and everything is beautiful.
Dorothy, Dorian, Dory the fish. This is excellent. I do know you are probably working right now, but perhaps you and I want to dance a little bit. Do you know the flamenco?
I know the flamenco quite well, Mr. Reggie.
I don't think I need to do this, but I'm going to because I can. I'm going to use a scene cue called The Muse. There's an alluring quality about you that draws people in and keeps them entranced. If you play into this, you can charm just about anyone who shows an interest. Be warned they're likely to become hopelessly enamored by you. And so he is going to grab the bartender, Dorian, by the collar and pull him out from behind the bar to begin dancing with him. He doesn't care if there's no music playing currently because he is ready to party.
He has the music in his soul right now.
Pretty much. I mean, for something tells me like a party like this, there would be some kind of music, but like...
Oh, yeah, there is still music going on though, too.
Yeah, he is slaying down the dance floor.
Would you say you're trying to slide into those DMs?
Oh, I think we slid into those DMs quite a long time ago. We're sliding to other things right now. Yeah.
All right, you're using a scene cue, so of course you automatically he is enraptured by you, following you onto the dance floor.
I do think what I'm trying to do with the scene cue as well, though, is get more information out of him, even if Reggie doesn't know he's trying to like infiltrate anything. He like wants to know everything about Dorian, what he does, how he does it, what was in that drink, and so he is alluring Dorian to tell him as much information as he can.
Yeah, again, as you guys are dancing, this entire conversation that he has with you is just whispered into your ear. His breath just warm against your skin. I mean, Hatter just told me to put all this stuff in people's drinks tonight. It's for certain people that I wanted to have a special experience, but it seems you're having one of those special experiences.
You are my special experience, darling. Please, what was it? I must know.
Can you come with me for a moment?
Absolutely.
No. That's how bad things happen. But Reggie's under the influence, so...
Reggie is hearing colors. He will take your hand, Reggie, and lead you from the dance floor, pulling you back towards behind the stage, through a doorway that he'll open for you very graciously, allowing you to walk in, not letting go of your hand as he leads you down this dark hallway. The colors, again, so vibrant even in this dark sort of room. And you, the butterflies that have been flying around seem to be even more focused in here, and you can see almost every flap of their wings as you follow this man that you know nothing about. And you...
It is just the gay experience at this point. This is just going to any bar and hook up with any random hot, attractive guy. This is excellent.
It's true. It's gonna be great. He opens this last doorway, and
before they step through, he's going to paw at his face and just say, "Oh, do tell me, who is this mysterious Mr. Hatter? I must know. Are we going to meet him? Is he a celebrity?"
I do. You're making me feel jealous that you want to see him more than me.
Of course not. I want to make sure he won't steal the spotlight from a gem such as yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be meeting him if you want. I just wanted to show you what was through this doorway.
Any hints before we take a few steps in that direction?
Huh. You wanted to learn more about the drink?
You have a whole room dedicated to it. You are one crafty bartender.
I just serve the drinks. It's Hatter that makes everything.
You do quite a lot more than that, Dorian. Believe me. Whisk me away, darling.
He does indeed whisk you away. He does lift your hand above your head and give you a little twirl before he opens the door. And we will cut away. Back to Alter. You are stuck in the shadows watching the drama unfold between Marina, Marcy, and Anastasia. At any moment, do you decide to step in, or are you just watching this unfold?
trying to think of the conversation for a minute. At some point, I think there was one point in the conversation where Marcy said something to Anastasia about like not being good at a certain something. I can't remember what the exact wording was, but I'd like to think
She was making fun of me for being poor.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Right. Okay.
And don't
right
forget
around
putting on affectations as well.
Yeah. I think around that point in the conversation, you see him sort of just silently step out of the shadows. And a thing in his hands that you haven't seen before, Anastasia, but Marina has on occasion, like, with the gun drawn. And is just sort of... is still listening to the conversation, isn't pointing the gun at her. Just standing there, watching and listening.
I think you're muted.
I unmuted the wrong thing. Marina makes eye contact with you, and like, we know each other well enough to you to understand that she's saying, "Stay ready," but like, wait for the right moment, kind of a thing, because Marina wants to see if Marcy intends to do anything other than just insult.
Okay. Yeah.
There's going to be is there going to be a threat, a forceful removal, or something of that sort, or is this just a snob being a snob?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But you can... he sort of gives, like, that nod, but you can clearly... I imagine... no, there weren't any really semi-automatic pistols back then. But you do see he probably has what's like a snub-nosed revolver, and you do see that the hammer is very clearly, like, pulled back and ready.
Yeah. We only cause scenes in places as a last resort.
Of course.
So yeah,
I mean, maybe you two only do it as a last resort.
Our scenes are a little violent.
No, what? No.
I'm just saying, you and I make different types of scenes than Becky and Anastasia do. But yeah, I guess what is Marcy doing?
So Marcy does not see Walter, though, right?
Correct.
Okay. Making sure. No, she sort of lights one of those long cigarettes and leans against one of the crates, looking just, again, absolutely gorgeous and breathtaking, but you know, that beauty is very tarnished by an ugly interior, it seems like. But maybe she'll have some redeeming qualities. See. She shakes her head. Why do you continue with this sort of riffraff? I do remember many potential suitors coming for you. At least that's been the gossip and, you know, those high society rooms that you used to frequent.
Suitors has always been a very funny term, in my opinion, because just because someone wears a suit does not make them suitable. And besides, I choose my friends for their talents and their intellect, not their pockets.
So are you going to fund all of them? It seems like they're going to be using you.
You underestimate my friend's talents.
And as she says that,
yeah,
can I pluck the cigarette right out of her hand? The cigarette stick? I'm gonna pluck it right out of her hand and just like, thanks.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
How dare you?
Oh.
No, how dare you?
As far as I've seen, only one of you insulted the other as being a leech of sorts. So
I
mean,
may
she
as
just
well
proves
live up
it.
to the name.
At least you know your place.
on stage in front of you?
Absolutely.
You pull a stunt like that again, and I'll make sure you're never on a stage anywhere in Peccadillo. I have connections, Miss Tannenbaum.
It's Tenenbaum.
See, you're just so forgettable.
And, just so you know, I also have connections, and my connections are the talent that fills those rooms, not the owners of it. So if they want to keep getting performers, they're gonna have to suck up to me.
I highly
You
doubt
realize
everything you just
most
said.
great musicians come from the people, correct? It takes struggle to write good music, and if you don't know that, then you obviously have no idea what you're doing. And can I actually make that a scene cue? Go against
Yes.
the grain?
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
Yeah, go against the grain. You have strong views and opinions that most people would find shocking and wholly inappropriate. Because you speak about these matters with such conviction, you can convince anyone to agree with you.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Dee is struck silent by your words. You see her open her mouth a couple times to like try and come up with some sort of retort, some sort of quip to get back at you, and she is just unable to. Well,
Well, and I turn and walk out of the room.
Before Marina follows her, she'll say, Anastasia might be a firecracker, but she's not wrong. Diverse life experiences is what makes the stage so interesting, so if you haven't had a chance yet, and I think she's gonna pull out a lighter and like put a cigarette in Marcy's mouth and light it. I do suggest you go find some and walk out.
And because he's there, Walter just puts the revolver back in his insight coat jacket pocket and literally just walks past Marcy, like in her line of vision.
Love that. What the did you come from?
Another thing you're not good at, Marcy, it's paying attention.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Is Marcy wearing heels?
Yes.
Because I think it'd be funny. I would like to use another of my scene cues, which is Devil in the Details. You have mastered the art of subtle sabotage, tweak and modify things in a way that cause some misfortune or embarrassment down the line, without drawing attention to yourself. I can imagine that while he's been in the background, he probably leaned down, took his knife, and sort of just slightly sawed at one of the heels without her noticing. And then just walked away.
Art.
You guys are rude people.
Well, she was a bitch to my friend.
It's true. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean,
Not just that, like she called our club all sorts of stuff. Like, no.
you guys just drink leaf
Listen,
water.
If
Gross.
you're gonna start throwing barbs, you gotta be prepared for the blowback.
You gotta be prepared for that hellish rebuke.
Hey.
You guys walk out, not knowing of Marcy's fate yet. And as you sort of look around the room where people are, drinking these shots, just, having a good time, you do not see Reggie anywhere. He's not hard to pick out in a crowd.
Oh man, we didn't. I'm assuming because of us watching the show, we probably didn't see him go up to the bar.
Not to go to the bar, right? Because
you probably saw him going to the bar because he got mad at you specifically and walked off.
Right.
You probably haven't seen him since then.
Ooh. Oof. Walter, as much as he quarrels with Reggie about anything at the club he runs, very visibly immediately is like disturbed. Where'd he go?
Should we ask around the bar?
Yes, and if we aren't quick, I might not be as subtle as I was back there.
Fair. Is there anybody tending the bar now?
There is not. And this is making for some angry people.
Oh.
Well, knowing his track record, he probably took the bartender up somewhere.
Could be true. And he kind of
then again, with this place being what it is right now, and them obviously coming after us, we should probably go look for him.
That we should. Walter is immediately going to probably look for either like a bouncer or the most important looking person in the room. Actually, I should probably just roll for that, huh?
That will be a roll.
Ooh, what do you think that is? I want to say wit and sharp, but also like culture and etiquette is probably the most fitting here.
I will take either.
Ooh, let's go. Okay. That is, with 4 dice, only 1 success. That is 1 6.
Alright. You did need 2, because this is an unfamiliar club. But there are, again, people walking around with trays of those shots with the biscotti. There are various people just standing around in suits.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nicely dressed place. So, sort of over by doorways, you do see people standing around, which you could assume maybe they're there for a reason, or they're just hanging out over there. But you can't quite pinpoint any one person that looks the most important.
Okay. In that case, because
Marcy, so.
In that case, since he is also help, he's just going to flag down one of the people with trays. He's going to give a very, very not necessarily insulting description of Reggie, but it's just like, I've been looking for my friend. He's loud, to put it one way. May have been flirting with some of the wait staff. We'll give a description of what Reggie was wearing to help maybe ease the search, and we'll also take some of his monies, of his 40 monies. Not sure how much of a bribe they'd take. Let's start with 5 monies and just sort of hands it to them.
He hands you a drink.
That doesn't answer my question.
Are you not paying for a drink?
Did you not hear what I just asked you?
No need to get so testy. I think I remember seeing someone wearing clothes like that.
Because I never explained it, I do want to clarify that he's wearing a poet shirt and joggers. Because of course he is.
Okay.
Yes.
And he just goes like, damn it. And oh yeah, I actually need to mark one of my scandalous things, because that devil in the details is plus scandalous. We'll slide over 5 more monies. That's a quarter of his monies. I'm scared. It's like, maybe this will help you.
Now that I think about it, I think I saw a person like that over at the bar at some point tonight.
No fucking hell. And just walks away.
I think seeing Walter come back frustrated, I would like to use one of my moves, which is a woman about town.
Ooh.
And it's the city, like I mean, granted, we're playing on a smaller scale than the whole city, but the scene cue is, the city like the back of your hand. You know where to find the right people for the right deal. You get to create an NPC that you need in the moment and place them there. Yeah. So I would like to create another, like, an NPC that is a friendly to the 6 o'clock club, and perhaps is also here checking things out and thus not aligned with the fun guys, and get information from a non-fun guy aligned party as to where our buddy might be. The fungies, that's true. Les geeks. Les fungi.
Is that just a really exciting form of butter?
I mean, I have to fight back because that's not how you pronounce it.
I hate how much I found that joke funny.
We are simple people.
Sorry, I had to put that in there while we were talking about it.
Shoot.
Yeah, so I would like to, I guess, bump into that NPC.
Yeah. You sort of focused on Walter for a moment, seeing like how angry that he was and frustrated, stuffing his wallet that is emptied of, a quarter of his money back into his pocket. And you turn and walk right into your friend Alice.
Oh.
Yes,
darling, it's so nice to see you here. I did not expect for you to be here.
Marina! Oh, sorry. Marina! Yeah, then she just, like, quickly embraces you, just excited to see you. No, they're right across the street from you guys, so I just kind of wanted to check it out. This place is a little bit weird. if I might say so, it's definitely not the same atmosphere as your guys' place.
Yes, they're rather all about appearances and not as much substance.
Yeah, not the most comfortable kind of place. And I don't know, some of the people are just act a little bit weird.
Yes. We're trying to stick together as much as we can, just for self-preservation. And of course, please do join us. We're better as a group. But we seem to have misplaced Reggie. Have you seen him by any chance? Please say yes.
I think I actually did see him. He was wearing that, what is that puffy shirt that he always seems to wear that he thinks looks fantastic, but it
Oh
just...
yes, the one with the sleeves and the flouts and the
Yes,
grandiose gesturing. It does draw attention to the armor.
Only Reggie can pull it off. I must say that.
And
only
he
Reggie.
does.
He does. He's such a fantastic guy. No, I actually did see him going off with the bartender. She sort of looks around. I kind of off in that direction. But I mean they were dancing, Marina. Like, could not keep their eyes off of each other.
Well, in normal circumstances, that would be quite wonderful. But as you said, not everything is as it seems here, especially behind closed doors.
Yeah, I don't know what they might be doing behind closed doors, but the way they were acting...
Let's hope it's just that, and nothing worse.
True. Yeah, I'll come with you guys if you want.
Oh, absolutely, we'd be delighted to have greater numbers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Walter!
Hi.
Walter, if you want to rush ahead, we'll come and maybe try to be as subtle as needed. We'll come with the upfront noise.
That might be good. While Marina and Alice have been talking, he's sort of just sitting at probably some random chair, and he's sitting there thinking. And like, it's very Mind Palace from the BBC Sherlock series. And he's sitting there for a second just thinking. And you can almost see him like mapping out the building in his head.
Basically, you're trying to figure out what doors you haven't gone into yet, kind of thing.
Yeah. And this is actually also going to be me using another one of my scene cues. Which is this way, sir. Your years of employment in everything from grand manors to hotels means that you can accurately intuit the layout of a building, including the rooms that many would rather keep a secret.
Ooh.
So he's sitting there.
Damn, you guys have some good scene cues. I'm jealous.
Yeah, these are perfect. Wow.
He's like, I think I might have a couple ideas where he might have gone.
Lead the way?
Yeah. And... oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at this point, y'all have realized that you haven't seen Anastasia for a second.
No!
And you see her walking back from backstage onto the stage.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that should be a good distraction for us.
As I was just about to say, actually. Great minds think alike, Marina.
And, you know, I would actually like to use my scene cue to give the best performance I possibly can.
Yeah.
With a passionate display. Pick an artistic skill you are proficient in. Singing. You give a passionate display every time you perform. All eyes are on you.
Yes.
Let's go get our boy Reggie.
Go get him.
I just imagine us be like, Reggie.
Yeah.
Pop twice, you're okay.
Are you decent, Reggie?
Basically.
Blink
But
twice if you need help, even though we can't see you.
let's try to go find our boy.
Speaking of your boy, Reggie. Oh, Reggie.
No.
Yeah, Dorian, opened that door with a flourish. And you are immediately transported into you're outside. It's weird. You know that he opened a door. You are inside the building, but ahead of you is just this field of flowers. Just and you could see in the distance where another wall is, but it doesn't make sense because there are no lights in this room. How are they growing? And as you look around, you do see the colors sort of bleeding up from the flowers into the air. And again, the butterflies flitting about in this room. And Dorian pulls you in, the door closing behind you both, and just sort of spreads his arm wide. He's like, this is where Hatter makes everything.
What exactly is he missing?
What does he miss? I mean...
Sorry, what exactly is he making? Words are hard when you're, tripping balls as far as I can tell.
Yeah, something that he wants everyone to taste. It's really weird. Sorry.
Don't move. You are on fire again.
I was gonna say I was just captivated by you, but no, he has an amazing plan to make this drink available for everyone. I mean, you could see how it makes you feel. What if everyone felt like this?
Oh, please, there's got to be some kind of hangover from a trip like this.
I mean, that's what this party is for, is to see what happens afterwards.
Oh, so I'm your cute little guinea pig now, aren't I?
You are really cute.
That's not exactly what I was asking, though. So we don't know what's going to happen to me? Am I going to grow a third limb? Am I going to lose my eyesight completely? Am I going to be in ecstasy for all of my days with you at my side? Please say yes.
He grabs your hands. He's like, no, I'm sure nothing bad will happen from this.
Oh, dearest me, I must know. And he is going to. You said there's like a bed of flowers here.
Yeah.
Is it
at least
only?
That's what you see.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna flirtatiously grab him by the collar again and push him into the bed of flowers, intending to land on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tease him into a kiss, but before I do that, I'm gonna grasp some of the flowers in my hand and give him a nice little sniff and say, "These are for you, dear."
He, as you hand him the flowers, you hear a shout from across the room from a voice that you do not recognize. Like, do not pull the flowers out.
He's gonna collapse. He's gonna roll over and collapse on his back, probably crushing more of the flowers. Oh, who is interrupting us in our moment of bliss?
Dorian will grab you and again just like whisper in your ear. I think that's Hatter. I don't think I was supposed to bring you in here.
Oh, don't worry, darling, please. I think we deserve this. And he is going to grab another handful of the flowers and stand up to approach the man who is talking to them. Excuse me, this room does seem to be occupied.
As you pull up another handful of flowers, there's almost like a crack like lightning. And you don't recognize the sound at first because it doesn't make sense, but there is that clasp of gunfire that whizzes past you. Does not hit you. But as you look up and turn towards Hatter, you do see that he has a gun in his hand. I told you not to pull up the flowers.
Well, fuck, my friend, why the hell are you shooting at me?
I warned you once. And then you stand up and you pull up more flowers.
They're simply flowers, dear. I'm sure they'll grow back.
These are not just simply flowers. Dorian, why is this gentleman in here? Dorian stands up and he has like grass and flowers like in his hair. He's like,
I think I can answer that. I do not mean to be crude, but I do believe we were going to have a lovely evening together before you rudely interrupted.
oh, lovely evening together. I don't think I want to know what
I
that
believe
means.
the French call it fucking. Now, if you'll excuse me, you can have these flowers, and I promise I won't pick any more of them. Can I use another scene cue here?
Yeah.
Or do you want to switch to something right now? So what I want to do is use a scene cue called Arts and Crafts, in which with some paste, scrap of fabric, or dab of paint, you can whip up just about anything. And he's going to try his best to close the door and find some way to blockade the door with whatever's left in this room.
Perfect. Except you would need to walk to the door.
Oh, I thought we were at the door. I guess you're not. No, that's fine. I'll do something else then. Actually, here, I'll use the same scene cue because I've already said that I wanted to do it. I'm going to grab something from this in this room and basically grab some piece of fabric or rope or something in this room and finagle the gun out of his hand. So he's going to try his best to latch onto it with I don't want to say a lasso, but something like that. Like he can whip a knot around this gun and pull it from his hands. You can say whether I can do it or not. You're totally allowed to say no.
You pick more flowers. I feel like so in this movement you do see that Dorian is wearing a tie.
Okay.
And you are very adept at untying knots, I might say.
For theater reasons, of course.
Yes, of course. Theater reasons. And are very quickly able to sort of wrap your arms around Dorian, and he thinks you're going in for a kiss, but you're actually just untying his tie. And very quickly in that movement where you make it seem like you're going in for something else, are able to whip the tie around, still knotted at the end, and able to hit Hatter's hand so that the gun doesn't
We could say it goes flying as opposed to catching it.
yeah, it goes flying.
That's dramatically more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Landing in the flowers. Off in the distance.
Be careful, it might go off and kill some of your precious daisies.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to do here.
And what exactly are you trying to do, Matthew?
Do not call me that.
Matty, dearest.
You do see that he is edging towards that gun.
As the French say, Mathieu.
Real quick, our friends are walking down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Walter, you recognize Anne Marina as the sound of gunfire, and you heard that shot go off.
He turns to Marina's just like, I'm not trying, because we might have to. Do you have a gun?
Marina does not have a gun, but Marina is resourceful in other ways.
Just in case, because this man is armed to the teeth because of being a bootlegger for illegal tea, pulls out what looks like a revolver with like an impossibly long barrel and just hands it to you.
Marina just
You
takes
the
it.
fucking elephant gun?
Yeah, exactly.
In an inner pocket of her coat, and says, "Go." And
Yep.
We're both rushing. And I'm assuming Alice is coming too.
Yeah, Alice is coming too. Anastasia, you are up on stage, and nobody is able to hear anything that is going on behind these closed doors because they're just so enraptured by your voice.
Does Anastasia hit a perfect high note as soon as the gunshot goes off?
Oh, yes.
Perfect high C. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I feel like at that moment, as she hits that high note, you do see Marcy trying to come out onto stage to somehow get rid of this performer.
I take the mic from the mic stand, and as she starts to try to come out on stage, I push her back in and I close the door.
And as you do that, the heel finally snaps on her shoes, and she falls backwards into a crate. Just and the crate was open, so she's stuck inside of it now. The high C ringing as that gunshot goes off. As the door opens, to you two, you are met with the scene of this individual slowly walking backwards in your guys' sight, looking at Reggie with just fury in his eyes. This room full of flowers. He's like, no, everybody needs to taste this drink. You're experiencing it right now, aren't you? I see it in your eyes.
It's absolutely lovely, darling. But please, there's gotta be... You don't need to be shooting me for it. And he's going to attempt to... you said that he was also reaching for the gun?
Yeah. No, you don't understand the money I've put into this.
I'm gonna do my best to kick it out of his way and basically just be a nuisance.
Oh my gosh. Give me... Ooh. Their bravado persuasion or wit and charm? Yeah.
I think bravado makes the most sense because he's trying his best to be not quite a show off. I feel like that's his strong suit. Hold on. Of course it is. He's an actor. That is 3 6s.
Oh wow! Describe this.
Who is? Can I ask a question of the other players real quick? Who is rushing into the scene right now, and who has the gun right now?
We both do.
We both have guns, and we're both rushing.
Oh,
towards
okay.
it.
Never. I'm gonna say that what happens is he connects with the gun, and it launches out into the air, and in that same moment he's going to tackle Matt Hatter and bring him down to the ground, and they're getting some rough play in the flower beds. For some reason, he has decided that Matt has pushed him the wrong way, and he's going to try to rip up as many flowers as possible.
Yes.
While, wrestling. Wrestling in the flower beds.
Amazing.
If only there was some oil.
I'm sure Dorian could provide that.
Do we show up at this point?
Yes.
Where's Dorian again?
He's just like standing there watching.
If I was able to turn around and grab his necktie, I think he stood up to face Matt Hatter, and so he's probably on the edge of the flower field while watching us go down.
Yeah. So you guys just see Reggie tackle this man into the flowers, and they're doing something rolling around together. But you did hear a gunshot earlier, but it's a very confusing
Reggie's
scene.
into some very interesting things.
Yeah, so I think Marina comes in and it kind of like does like a comic screech to a stop, and turns her head and says, "I can't tell if there's pain or pleasure going around there, but perhaps
all you hear from Reggie is, "Oh, I picked another flower."
But perhaps just in case," and she's gonna make eye contact with Walter, as I think they'll both reach for their guns and just hold them, point them down into the wrestling guy.
Actually, we should probably get their attention first, and he'll fire into the air.
Marina was gonna make a very sarcastic speech about it, but that works. That'll do it. Is there another high note at exactly that same time?
Yeah. Somehow Anastasia's like planning it like this, even though she doesn't know what's going on. It's just spot on.
Let's just say it's a song that has a lot of runs and a lot of high notes.
Yeah.
Like imagine like Celine Dion.
Oh.
Amazing. So as Walter does the shot, I think after that Marina will be like, "Come now, gentlemen. It's not nice to ruin my friend's performance by causing a scene here. Let's try to be a little more polite, shall we?" And, guns being held, hoping that Hatter will emerge from the flower beds and unhand our friend.
Well, Reggie, do you unhand Hatter, or?
We don't know who's handing whom.
Since I don't know if they're still tripping from their dances in the weird world of coffee, are these flowers that they see?
Like everyone else?
I see them as flowers. Are they actually flowers?
You guys see a field of mushrooms.
So
you're just rolling around in shrooms.
They're rolling around in shrooms, yeah.
This isn't a lovely field. No, this is a fucking mud pit.
So
it is a mud pit.
That's some fun guys and some fun guys.
Everyone in this room is high as
like
balls.
Shit, guys.
Oh. And at that point,
rancid.
Yeah, Walter looks at his suit. And he's just like, gives that look of like, oh.
It'll be okay, but Reggie, darling, you want to come here? Away from the...
Yeah, I think we might need to call it a night. But he'll turn first to Dorian, and just say, and goes to grab his tie and realizes his tie is missing, and then just finds the tie off the ground and drapes it around his neck and just says, I do apologize for borrowing this, my dear. We do meet just across the street. Perhaps you could come visit me sometime. I think I need a bit of a lie down.
I think I might need a bit of a lie down too.
Oh, great. We can lie down together sometime then. We have intersecting hobbies.
Yes, intersecting. Fantastic.
And even though he is like failing now, Reggie will still make a very flirtatious look when he says intersecting. Then he'll join the rest of the party in the hallway just to say, well, he seems to be definitely putting something in the drinks here. Let me tell you, Marina, your hair is a beautiful shade of auburn.
Yes, we should get Reggie back. But before we do, Marina's
Walter, since when is your beard yellow?
Marina's gonna turn to the Hatter and say, I'm not one to tell somebody how to run their business, but I guess in this case I might have to make an exception. Don't drug people without their consent. It's so gauche.
It's like brushing the mud off of himself. So much money.
And
so
stay
much...
out of our club.
This could have been an investment for you guys.
Yeah, but we like to make sure our club makes their money on its talent and not by influence.
You guys owe me a lot of money. Look.
Oh, you could come press a suit to collect it, but I'm sure we would have to reveal exactly why we owed you money, and neither of us want that.
And well,
Reggie will just like giggle at that because he thinks at this point he's just like, yes. Anything that you can put down on Matt is just the best thing. In fact,
Marina's one talent is bold, like bravado and persuasion. That's
Reggie will respond with, "Yes, royal, yes, royalty, yes."
And I think Walter's just like, well, you owe us something. I mean, for drugging our friends. So.
Oh, let's not forget the breaking and entering.
Yes. Would the three of you mind giving me a minute with Mr. Hatter? And he's going to step in the room and close the door behind him.
Come now, Reggie, darling. Let's go somewhere where you can enjoy your colors in peace.
Reggie needs a lot of water.
We're gonna take you to the main room and we'll, I guess, enjoy the end of Anastasia's performance and
not
hydrate
only
you.
high, he is thirsty. What?
Yeah, we'll hydrate.
Very thirsty.
We can only tend to some thirsts.
Okay, you got Dorian. He's a bartender.
There you go.
I will point out, you guys did not take Matt's gun. So, Walter.
Oh,
no.
That is true.
I thought Reggie
It's
had
kicked into the
it.
corner, but it's still in the room.
It's still
in the
there.
Room. It's in the room. Okay.
I do want to add this just in case it's because I picked so many of the flowers. I did take some of those mushrooms with me and shove them in my pockets.
Okay, not in your mouth. Good.
Just in case.
Okay, good. Smart man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, could. Oh. Yeah, let's get creepy right now.
This is not a horror game.
No, I'm turning into not necessarily horror, but suspense.
Scribbles will be excited about that.
Yeah. He closes the door, and I think as he does, can I use my second use of unseen and unnoticed? and Walter just seems to disappear.
I do believe, yeah. We got more than 5 seconds. Our sync cues did reset, so yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Hatter doesn't even notice that you had stayed in the room thinking that you walked out with all the others as he's trying to push mushrooms back into the ground, just bent over.
He's gonna be mean. He's just going to. Is he like on his hands and knees, basically, or?
Basically, yeah, he's trying to fix his flowers.
Whether I get one or both, he's literally just going to kneecap him and just shoot him in the knees. And sort of just kicks him onto his back. I'm assuming at 2 effective high notes from Anastasia.
Yeah, that intermingle with the screams of this individual of Hatter.
Drowned out by applause.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Hatter.
What?
I mean, obviously, you probably won't be walking for a long time now, if ever. But I would highly advise not coming to collect.
Like, gasping in pain. Not sure if he should be holding his knees or just lying there in his blood that is pooling from his shot kneecaps. You damn tea drinkers are gonna pay for this.
Really? Because I'm not sure we will.
You don't understand. I wasn't the one pulling the strings here. I'm just a simple gardener.
Sure you are, Matt. Sure. And is just going to sort of lean down and press the gun against his forehead. Now, why don't you tell me who's the one really pulling the strings? Or you won't be leaving this room at all.
Do you have what it takes? Oh, that's a dumb question. Of course you do. You should know this by now. Marcy's the one pulling the strings for everything.
Kind of figured.
Now what are you gonna do?
Really good question, Matt.
You can only have to just feed my garden.
Wait, so I heard something in my garden. What was the verb for that?
Shoot me, I'll just feed my garden.
I'm sorry, that was sad. That was really sad. That was just sad.
He's going to...
We're all mad here, Walter. Just do it. And see what you become afterwards.
Sits there for a second. No. I think I'd rather let you live. Just so you remember. The mistake you made trying to come against us and is actually going to sure. If you'll let me, I would like to use my only scene cue I haven't used yet, which is a Stitch in Time. Now it says repair a broken garment, but could I essentially reverse engineer that and essentially make some very crude like carabiners essentially to stop the bleeding?
Carabiners are not the word you're looking for.
Carabiner, not the right word. Whatever. Tie it off so it stops the bleeding. Whatever.
Tourniquet?
Yes, thank you. Tourniquet. That's the word. Thank you.
The boy in me is scared where this is going.
I mean, yeah, if you want to tear some fabric off of his clothes and create a tourniquet above the knee.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just, ties it off just above the knee. Is there like a chair somewhere in this garden or somewhere like a gardening shed, basically?
A bench to enjoy the flowers?
A lovely cup of tea to enjoy the flowers with?
Yeah, yes, there's a gardening shed in the far corner. Why?
He's just literally going to drag him into the garden shed and leave him there.
Oh my god.
Just a quick fade to black, yeah.
Yep.
No, he doesn't kill him. He just leaves him there and then leaves the room.
All right,
And takes
going
his
back
gun with
over.
him.
Yay.
This isn't a horror game. Somehow horror.
Walter is the hardest core tea bootlegger I've ever seen.
I was convinced he was gonna be like, no, you work for me now. And I was like, whoa.
Right.
Not you don't fuck with Walter's friends, man.
I mean, honestly, like, if you're going around like drugging people and then like trying to
kill them,
make it seem like you're a good guy, you're hopeless. Like, no, this is fine.
This is fine.
You drugged my friend and then tried to shoot him.
Yeah.
You get to live with the fact that you tried and failed, and now you're never going to walk again. Have fun.
All right. Well, Anastasia, everyone is on their feet applauding you.
All right.
They're-
So I have a question. Being a performer, like I am, I definitely would have been making eye contact with people as I was singing. Would I know that half of the club is drugged based on how they're reacting and how they look?
Yes.
Excellent. Alright, so yes, my performance is coming to a wind down, coming to an end, and at the end of it, I just say into the microphone, alright, well, that's gonna be it for my time. If you want to check me out again, I'm performing right across the street at the 6 o'clock club, and I promise we won't drug you without your consent.
There are shouts for an encore as people are standing up because you said, like, I'll be at the club right across the street, so they think you mean right now.
Oh, they can come. Yeah, why not?
They're not the ones drugging others without their consent.
Correct.
True. Perfect. So, do you lead them across to your club, Anastasia?
Oh, definitely. I'm like, come on. And yeah, I totally just like bring all of them with me across the street, and I set up with my piano and I play and sing at the same time, which is somehow even more enchanting.
More intimate.
So when all of them come out of the back room, it's empty. The club is empty.
but you do hear music across the street. And the 6 o'clock club is filled to the brim with people that are just seeing the music, and it is a beautiful sight to behold. I mean, your club is it's at capacity, so people are like flooding out into the streets, and everyone is just swaying to Anastasia's absolutely beautiful melody.
Yeah.
About walking through the flower fields.
You're goddamn right they are.
All right. I think, unless anybody has a real quick thing that they want to add to the end, I think this is where we're going to end it tonight.
Only thing I want to say is that Reggie is going to fill the theater's coffers with a little bit of extra money made from the mushrooms that he finds in his pockets.
These are high quality mushrooms.
The winter cabaret is fully funded now.
Walter probably has to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I think you're.
No, did Reggie just fund his theater on drug mushrooms?
Pretty much.
He did.
Hell yeah.
But to consenting buyers.
Yeah.
They know they're getting it this time.
Informed consent.
That's what we care about here.
Yeah.
At the 6 o'clock club. Informed consent.
Trust, we're gonna get a bigger stage installed. That's my one demand.
Walter would very much push for the fact that this place should not be painted red anymore.
And I think Marina is going to eventually suggest the 6 o'clock club upgrade to bigger quarters. Perhaps when the place across the street is out of business, and we get to upgrade and remain a popular club where consent is key. And a good time is had by all.
I love that this has become, hey, we're cool, but also consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lesson. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I will say that mysterious happenings begin to occur around the 6 o'clock club. Perhaps finances going missing, building permits being more difficult to acquire. And a strange fire that almost burned the entire building down at one point.
Excuse?
But that's a story for another time. Marcy Hare is still out there somewhere pulling the strings. But
We'll get what's coming.
We'll see. She's not one to keep a low profile. But yeah, this has been Flabbergasted, where consent is key. Do not lick random things that you find in an envelope, please. And yeah, I've been the director tonight. I am Sammy Scripples, she, her pronouns, over on the Twitter, where supposedly I am taking a vacation from doing TTRPGs, but not really, because I don't know what that means. Right now, you can just find me on The Lost Caravan, because that's all I'm doing right now. But yeah, just keep up on my Twitter and you'll be able to find anything else that I'm doing in the future. But yeah, I would love to go around and just briefly let us know what you guys are doing, what projects you're working on, where we can find you next, and plug yourselves, please. And we'll go ahead and start with Anastasia.
Hey y'all again. I was Anastasia Tenenbaum, and I'm Crimson Galaxy. Again, that's KRIMSIN, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. You can find me on Twitter at sin_gal, and tomorrow you can find me over on twitch.tv/Valdrinth, that's VALDRIANTH, with episode 9 of our show, Isekai Academy, and then I thought I had a Friday game. but no, it's not on my calendar. All right, on Saturday, I'm going to be back over on Fantasy Grounds, the Twitch Fantasy Grounds, with our Curse of Strahd campaign. On Sunday, I'm going to both be in a. I'm going to be over on TPK Roleplay in a D&D 5e one-shot, The Worm Witch. After that, pretty much like a half hour after that game ends, I'm going to be back on my episode 3 of our Call of the Netherdeep campaign over on Fool's Moon EI. And I think that's all I got to plug for this week. Yeah. Thanks.
And where do you see Anastasia further down the line?
Oh, I imagine she is going to be trying to find a lot more people to give her money for her career, and being a singer that also, you know, promotes consent.
Woo!
Amazing.
All right, our dear Walter, played by Spencer.
Yes. Hi. I am Spencer. He, him pronouns. I am Spencer DVA on Twitters and stuff. No current projects going on at the moment, but for those who feel safe enough going, you'll find me at Gen Con 2022 this year, which I'm very excited to go to and meet some fun folks. So, if you see me, and if I remember correctly, I think Gen Con is still requiring masks this year. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. But feel free to come up and say hi to my masked face if you see me.
You think it's you. God, Walter, we made this into a horror.
So safe to say, epilogue things. Walter probably goes from the help to an enforcer, for lack of a better way of putting it. It feels.
You're a different kind of staff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's the case here. He probably goes after Marcy in some attempts. Whether or not he's successful, I guess, is something for another day. Yeah. That's probably Walter's
enemies
future.
to lovers thing. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think so. I love that trope, but in this case, I don't think so.
There was already a little bit of a spark with Reggie, so we'll see what that goes in.
Yeah.
Ooh. Speaking of Reggie, what are you doing?
Hello, I am Proper. I'm very glad to have played with you tonight because it's my first time with Lost Caravan RPG. I go by Proper Nerdy all over the interwebs, but you'll find me mostly on TPK Roleplay as a staff member there. I played a bunch of different games, but I just finished up Madness Calls It Forth, the City of Mist campaign, based on the Knights of Paintown, which you can find all on YouTube. Also, in about a month's time, on the 25th of July, I believe, whatever that Monday is. You can
25th, yeah.
There we go. On the 25th of July, I'm starting a brand new show about world building games. So anything Session Zero, world building, or city building, you can join us for Nautilus. It is not about the destination, it is about the journey. And I hope you'll get a chance to join us for that at TPK Roleplay, because it's going to be a very exciting look into lots of storytelling games. Other than that, you can find my own storytelling games on my itch account. Generational, a story about stories, where you build the history of the world, or Cataclysmal, a story about saviors, where you talk about the end of the world. Have a lovely... Well, yeah, I recommend that you all play them. They're very interesting. And beyond that, have a lovely evening all. I hope to play with you again in the future. Thank you to our director for a wonderful night, and we'll leave it off to The Last of Us. I believe that's Pooja.
Hey everybody, I have been Pooja. You can find me over at Pooja on Twitter and at Pajabberwocky on all other platforms, including Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, I have very recently started randomly streaming cozy comfort games and Mario Kart with friends and stuff. So if you could shoot me a little follow, that would be wonderful. But as far as actual play goes, like Sam, I am trying to take a little bit of a break, but of course, things don't work that way. So you can find me this Friday on Praxagora Thesmophoria's channel. It's a very complicated name, but there's a link to it in my card, which is in my Twitter bio. But we're playing Mechton. Saturday, I will be over on Total Party Kiss during the daytime, where we are playing Strange Hungers, an all-queer D&D 5e horror campaign in a fabulous homebrewed world from my amazing DM. And next, instead of Monday, we're playing on Tuesday. I'm also in a bi-week, every other week, Streets of Gotham campaign, where we are a bunch of Batman-related hench folks causing chaos in the city of Gotham. It's a really great time. We're playing a Blades in the Dark spin-off system, which is wonderful. And I think the only other... God, yeah, so much for a break. The other thing I'm in is running Feywild, which is a D&D 5e campaign over on Nat 1 Fun, where we just create chaos in the Feywild with some fantastic people. Links to all of these games can be found in my Twitter bio, where there's a card link. So please come out, say hi, and I always tweet where I'm going to be. So that's probably the best way to keep up with me.
Perfect. I just want to say thank you guys for going on this amazing, wonderful, strange journey with me. Was not sure where it was going to end up, but this was a fantastic story that we told together. We will be raiding Chaotic Wonderful, so make sure you stick around for that and shoot them a follow and some happy raid and some support for our fellow streamers. And again, make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves and doing what you need to do for your own mental well-being. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow for some more Alice in Wonderland week. I hope.